girls with their nails done now.
Okay, we're going to pull up this other image here, and we're going to talk about your relationships and children and family. And your lines are really light on this. I hope you can see these lines. I've got a high resolution screen, so I hope that translates. So how this works is this is your heart line right here. See, you can see all those little tassels there, those little flirt lines. And this is the edge of your right hand. We go from this area here up to that little ring around the pinky finger, about that Mercury finger. And this area right here is your relationships and children. Now, as we come up here, these horizontal lines here are relationship lines. And you've got a really strong line right here coming up. You kind of divide that in thirds, 20s, 30s, 40s and 50s, and then on up into your 80s and beyond. So you've got a really strong line right here. It looks like you might have had, no, there's a little relationship line before that right here. That could be tied into this line here. But that actually looks like a good marriage line. It's a good solid line. It goes along nice and consistent. You don't see any big breaks on there. You see a little tiny bit of contention lines here and there. But for the most part, you see a lot of positive lines coming off that. Let me expand that a little more so you can see that. This picture is just a little bit blurry too. But you can see some good positive lines. It actually looks to be a good marriage line. Now, as we travel up, you have a second line here. Now, this could have a couple of different meanings. This could be a second marriage, or this could be a renewal of vows. And we tend to think that this is a renewal of vows because that first line actually looks really good. If that line was all kind of messed up and had islands and breaks and all that, we would say that would be a second marriage. And not only that, you have a connecting line here. So that actually looks like a renewal of vows line right there. And then we don't see any other marriage lines beyond that. So those are some really good lines to have. So that looks like that's that marriage line. So you want to nurture that marriage. And it looks like you have been. Let's see. What did you get married? I think it was, 1973. That's a good relationship. So that is a good marriage line. And like I say, that looks like that's a renewal of vows. You strengthen that marriage up there a little bit later on in life. Okay, we're going to take a look at your children lines. And these are the horizontal lines. They come off of this bottom ring of this pinky finger. And it looks like you've got a couple of children lines there. They're good, strong lines. Like I say, this image is just a little bit blurry. But we can see two children lines there. Then you have a gap and a bunch of little lines here that are coming down. Those are grandchildren lines. We don't actually count those grandchildren lines in your hand. Those are actually better counted in your children's hands. So if you want to look in your children's hands, and you'll see, like right here, about the middle of this pinky finger, and you'll see how many children they'll have. That'll tell you how many grandchildren. But you've got a pile of grandchildren lines right here. That's always fun to have. I've got 11 of them. Absolute joy of my life.